Hello, Divine Sunshiners. This is Divine Sunshine. You can get a reading with me at divinetwinsoul11.com. Go to my services page, click on the book online, and that will lead you to my site in which you can book an appointment then. This month of July, I am running a special, $11 for 30 minutes. And for an hour, that would be $22 for that. So please go to that site and book online today. I am with continue on with Instantgo. I see, thank God, they have came up with a way in which you could tell them when your availability is. So that is great. So I tried to do a Keen, but Keen said they have taken all of the advices that they need at this point and not accepting anymore. And many other sites have said the same thing as well. So I will stick with Instantgo. I have more control of that now, and that was my main concern. So if you want to go to my Instantgo, which is go with divinetwinsoul11.com. There, and then you can get a reading either through phone, text, and also video. So those are my things as well. Okay, today what I'm looking at is the divine. I said this is the divine feminine thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Rumi, because I have been guided to do that. So let me look and see what are the energies for. Let me do this over again because I said overall and then I changed my mind on that one. Clear. So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to do anything that has to do with the karmic, like per se, doing that, what she think, what they think, or whatever. If it pops up in there, I will investigate in there more. But I had promised last time, and also some other subscribers had contacted and said the same thing. I'm not feeding into that energy anymore. Right now, we need some tools to know what do we need to do as divine masculines or divine feminines, to know what we need to do in our situations. So I'll be thinking about what you think the overall. So if you're cross watching, that kind of help you also to know what's the divine feminine thinking, what's the divine feminine feeling, what are some things that she needs to surrender, what are some things, some issues that can help to work that out. So we're going to go step by step with that process and just really look at how we can heal ourselves in the divine feminine in that. So if that's an issue and the karmic does pop up, I will investigate and see what that is much further. But again, I'm going kind of in a new direction with that, as far as we're at the point now. If we like the song I played in my chats, please listen to that, the fireside chat that we have that is saying make that move. We got to know what are the money moves, as Cardi B saying we got to make. Okay, so the card I pulled out was Blood Angel. This is for the divine feminines. Okay, that's a number 7. So that's spiritual completion. And I've been seeing that number a lot of 7s all around. Okay, so now, what is the universe trying to say to us, divine feminines? Blood Angel. In the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. Stepping down from the clouds, it glanced at me like a falcon that hunts a bird and steals it away. It captured me and flew back to infinite space. As I looked for myself, I could not find me, for my body had become all soul in the tenderness of love. The 9 spheres of heaven dissolved in that moon, as the ship of my existence drowned in the sea of love. Do you dare place a limit on how much life you can contain? I pour of myself into your heart and invite you to become nothing and everything with me. Let us be the sunrise that greets the new day and the sunset that honors the dying of the day. In radiant glory, let us be the angel of the light arising from darkness and the starburst in the awakening heart of a human. Beloved, be the moon at the back of my heart and the sun at the front of my heart. Be wordless and wise. Let us have nothing that we know for certain and be content. Let us be all and let us be nothing. Let us be. The oracle of the blood angel comes to you with a particular message. You are being given the gift of more life. You may experience this as growth, expansion, more energy, more life force, or divine electricity circulating through your system. The blood angel understands that in the gift of greater life, which enables a soul to live more of its essence, becoming a more palpable divine presence upon the earth. There are many unavoidable experiences. One of these is that there will be more sunsets to counter the increase in your sunrises. This is about balance. When opening up to receive more, one needs to empty out what has been to allow for a new influx of energy. It is not about an exchange of equal measure, for you will receive according to the great generosity of life itself, and thus even more shall be offered in compensation for what you are willing to release. However, release must take place. Balance is the natural law. The sunset makes way for a time of night. That might be the darkness of grief or the stirring of the unknown. Places within that only reveal themselves in clarity the following morning, being ready to endure the sunset and the night to become ready to receive sunrise, and with it more life is your divine task now. So what they're saying now is that pretty much there are changes and transformations on this horizon, and we have to, as divine feminines, get to the point that we are embracing. I see a roller coaster rise where some days there's highs and some days we have those lows, and some days we got to brace on as we going up the roller coaster ride, and some days we got yee as we going down the roller coaster ride of life as well. We've got to brace both the turns, the twists and turns that life brings us as well, divine feminine, especially in this journey. Okay, so now let's look and see what is the divine feminine's put this over here. What is she thinking? Let's look at what's happening on this journey. Clear. What is the divine feminine thinking? Let's ask the romance angels. Woohoo! Flipper. Okay. What is in her heart space? Okay, so right now, what's in the divine feminine's nose issue? That's the heart chakra. Or my mom used to always say, somebody want to see you. Okay, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, which kind of goes back to what we've seen with the blood angel card, which is just enjoying life, the now, living in the now. What is life bringing you? Learning how to stop and smell the roses as you're going on in life. It's just a lot of heart chakra, getting in touch with your emotions, in touch with your heart, what things you like, what brings you passion, what really brings you. And I'm seeing here, okay, that's the road, but it almost looked like it was her cleavage. I was about to say, this to be look like she's getting, I don't know, I'm drawn to that, which would mean to me to just really get in touch with your sensuality, your femininity. I know here lately I have been wearing more short dresses, just really saying, you know, today I just want to get in touch with my feminine goddess. Today I was rocking the little masculinity. I was kind of in between androgynous, that, you know, I still rock the earrings, but I still had like a little kind of masculine edge to me. So I'm really trying to learn how to just melt both of them together when needed. So this is what I'm really seeing, is attracting things to your life, being really that manifester, but being that magnet that draws all these good things in our lives. Divine feminine was also in her mind space as well. This situation involves that we just really are looking for a real commitment, and this commitment can also be just like the song that say, make that move. in anything that we're trying to do in our lives, if we're trying to manifest a job, manifest a move from where we are, trying to, do anything that is, I call it a noun, person, place, a thing, we're trying to commit. We really want also this on our mind is also have that strong commitment from our divine masculine. One thing of doing that is just to really say that we really want, and I seen that in one of the videos. He said, I want the divine masculine to really get to the point that he doing all the crazy stuff that I did to get his attention. And that is true. We are at that point that we're really like saying, you got to rock like I had rocked. You got to really go out there on that limb. And then I start believing, because a lot of us are at this point that we're just saying, you know what, I done did everything I could do. I done everything you asked, wherever you wanted me to be. I went out there on a limb. I drove miles to come see you, even if it was for 1 minute or 2 hours, and came back, and I ain't even see you try to even roll up and stay with me for 2 minutes. It's hard for you to do that. When you gonna start the tables turn and you start showing that commitment like I'm doing, that dedication, it's like I'm in it to win it. This, I'm your ride and die. When we get into this point. And so that's what's on the divine feminine's mind. Right here we got letting go of control issues in reverse. And really right now it's just like the card Blood Angel has said from Rumi. We're at the point that we're not even the control thing. We're at the point that we just really just letting go with the flow, and we just letting go. And I know even with myself, I've gotten to the point that I just saying I can't control everything. I can't help everybody. I can't, be here, be there, and do everything. I got to put me first, or, just really trying to control and see what the divine masculine is doing. Let me check his Facebook status. Okay, yeah, y'all. I know you out there. You don't try to act like I'm talking about your friend. I'm talking to you. You checking on him, see what he doing on Facebook every minute. Oh man, he with her. He with Shaquita again, and I seen him. They took little Shaquana Chuck E. Cheese. And here we go again. I'm just miserable and And you trying to control the situation. Just gonna let him go on with that, because half of us already know that it's just nothing but a facade, that they doing the illusion. Daniel Boone is saying that, I think I said in the separation reading what he was saying about in the morning, it's like when they lay down at night. At nighttime, she's wide awake, worried about what's going on between her and the divine masculine. And in the daytime, the divine masculine is wide awake, and he's worried about the situation. That so they worry, they flip off. At night she worries and panics, and in the morning he worries and panics. She's at ease because she's saying he's going and taking places, showing off to friends and dun. But then when it comes at night, that's when it all comes out that he either giving her the cold shoulder. I call it when the lights ain't on. So when they behind closed doors, it all comes out. Talking short, whatever he's doing towards her, not treating her kindly. When he outside in public, it's ooh, boo boo, and oh, Winnie the Pooh and Pooh Bear and all that stuff going back and forth. And when they close the door, I say, you don't never know what's happening with people behind closed doors. That's true. And so what's going on with that's whole other story. So I say that about the Facebook thing. There's all illusion. We know that rather they are divine or not, people are living their best life on Facebook. Okay, putting everybody to things, so they talk about parents and everything. Oh, he was the best daddy in the whole red world. And then behind the closed door, your dad was a Rolling Stone. He didn't talk to you and had about one conversation with you, took you out for ice cream cold way back there when you was 5 years old. He just started checking back into your life at the end. Because now you got grandkids, he more interested, and that's it. But you saying you love your dad. I'm not boosting and knocking the dads, but I'm just saying how people is just enlightened. You like, well, what happened between age 5 and now you age 35? What happened in between there, So you can't go by what's happening on Facebook. Let the control issues, trying to know everything, what your divine master is doing, control issues, or trying to control everything in your life. Just go with the flow. Okay. In her heart space is reconciliation. So she really wants reconciliation at this point with her divine masculine. Someone from your past is returning to your life. In your heart space, some of you all are really, if you're in separation, you really wish that your divine masculine would come back. If some of you all have little to some communication with your divine masculine, you're really wishing that we could get back to this again, where we have that closeness, we in the same space, instead of me being this ethereal kind of being in the heavenly body, in spirit, and we connected, and I'm right there with you following along, and vice versa. He's there with me in spirit, and I'm I'm there in body, in the physical. That is an issue there. So we really want reconciliation right there. Let's look at some things and what are some things that we need to surrender. Where's my surrender cards? Did I pull them out? I know I did. These not, that's divine feminine. Did I pick them out? Okay. This card is heavy. I did not do it. Okay. Divine surrender cards. Okay. So what does... Oh, and I didn't do these either. What your higher self needs to talk to you about. I get that. Clear? I want to do that. I'll go back to that one. That's fine. I'm doing my old-fashioned way. Okay. What does the divine feminine need to surrender? Give me 3 things. Oh, you gave more than 3. What is this? 1, 2. Yeah, you gave me a lot. Okay, I'm going to go with it because you all shot up. So it's something to that. Okay, so now, according to the cards, what things you need to surrender? We need to surrender resentment. Holding on to resentment only poison you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in life. Going back to my Shaquita analogy, he left you in the club, walked off with Shaquita back there in 1985. This is not 2018. We cannot keep on continuing to hold grudge against our twin because he left with Shaquita. He left you in the club and he walked out the door with Shaquita. We cannot continue to hold resentment. Now, 2011, him and Shaquita then had a child. Now Shaquan is here. You all were talking, intermingled, and now it's an issue because now you got Shaquan that added on to the whole mix. Now you got the karmic, you got Shaquita and Shaquan to not deal with. We got to learn how to surrender those resentments, okay, in order for us to move on. At those points, if he came to you and told you he has apologized for that, that was back then. That was his growth. That's who he was. My mom always said, if I knew better, I would do better. And so, she's going to be next week's guest speaker. She'll be back on, Mom. Those are the things that we kind of got to keep in mind, that, when we harbor, like they say, resentment or not forgiving someone is like drinking poison and hoping that they going to die. We have to get to the point that we have to release it. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for me as well when I become comfortable and I want to share, but I'm trying to also honor what my twin and I have about some things, and way how that happened, how it's easy to hold resentment. You got to just come to a place of unconditional love. Surrender to beauty of the natural world. That's the next one. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. I would say even just not even just in the woods, but just taking in, back to this card again, the attraction of just taking in the beauty that's around you, in your surroundings. That is very important for you as you're in your healing process, divine feminine. Also getting in touch with Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, pulling in those energies as well, just going outside. And even to me, just taking time out. Like today, I went for my yearly mammogram. I finished up earlier than I thought before I went to go get cute, get my little hair done, get recurled again. And I was like, you know what? Well, I got some time. I just go treat myself to breakfast. Very nice, relaxing time. I really thoroughly enjoyed my date with myself. Just sat there and read a good book about twins. I'll try to see if I can look at that. About really not about twins, but about rainbow children. And this lady who got on her journey of being a healer. To me, just from reading the book, is so saturated with energy that to me, I gained healing just from that. That's how powerful she is. Let me see if I can get that one. The name of the book is, it should pop right on up. Spirit Babies. Stop. Go back. Spirit Babies. If you do that one more time. Spirit Babies by Walter M.A.K. Ketchen. I wish it would stay there and stop going. I want to see the cover. Okay, I don't think you could be able to see it because I had to tilt it and do it all different kind of ways for you to be able to see it. I can see it one way and then it doesn't. But it's called Spirit Babies. You can almost see it right there. Spirit Babies, how to communicate with the child you're meant to have. There go that word Delta again. Walter McKetchin talks about that. I'm sorry, I don't know why I picked up a feminine thing. Yeah, so I don't know, every time I read this, he had like a strong feminine thing, presence. So it's him. He's very good, very dynamic. I've done that sometimes. I must be picking up past lives or something. I'm like, it's a she, and I'm like, no, I had a professor in class, and I swore by God he was a male. And then when I looked at the picture, I said female. I said that was a male professor. I just picked up female from him. So anyway, so with that. So that's a very good book. Try to read that. You get a lot of healing. Just he's that powerful of a healer that you can even get healing just from reading. I sat there, read, enjoyed myself eating my French toast and scrambled eggs and duck bacon and homemade home-style fries and I said eggs. Yeah, all together. Delicious with some peach coffee. It's called Peaches. If you're ever in Chicago, on 47th and King Drive. Very good breakfast food. Try that out. Very good place. So next one we've got to work on is surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world, possibilities. That goes right back to what I read about that blood angel, how we got to go for the flow, go into success. I believe we're in transformation season right now. That's what's going on. Surrender to your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. And I said that if you listen to my video that I had for my fireside chat, I had said that on 2 channels I have seen the readers or the spiritual guides or advisors, whichever one you want to say they're in union, but their union looks very unique than what I would in picture, or I think us as Twin Flame Collective would have thought that they are in union. One of them, her name is look and see herself as Ascension Simone. She is says she's in union. However, is a unique way of union. I wouldn't say how it looks to me, that how we define some of us in Twin Flame Collectives would say it would be union, because union would say, well, we're living together, or we're together and we're doing everything together. But however, they've gotten to the point that he feels that what they have to accomplish in life, that they said that they believe they need more people. They can accomplish that by being in the same space. So he's going off to do what he's got to do. She's going off to do what she's got to do. They're in constant communication. She can pick up the phone, talk to him at any time. So to me, they're really laying a firm foundation of being very good friends. That she said she's got a soulmate. She's moving back home with him. And that at the point that she's like, her soulmate knows about her divine twin. He's all right with it. They're going to go ahead and, for her vision is to go ahead and build a life, have kids or whatever down the road, and, whatever. So, because she's saying right now, for envision for what they have to do, she can't see how that lines up with her having all the kids. How did that even line up with her divine twin? But now she's seeing that how that's really separate. I call it separate but equal. We're together, but we're separate, but it's equal because we're same twins. And so we're not living in space, in the same space together. Which is very unique. Why do I say that? It's because we can't be attached to the way. Another reader I have seen, she said that we're together, we spend time together, we just don't be intimate with each other. We just lay in the same bed. We got understanding about each other because right now we just want to just be in that friend space. So, if that's a union, then, and, you being a good friend, some of them, they saying it just looks like building that good firm foundation of having open communication with them and just really being, I call it true BFFs. Like they say, you my BFF, like my bestie. She's always say, hey BFF. She got BFFs. And so, if we best friends forever. So that means you call me by anything. I'm not upset with you. I'm truly practicing unconditional love. That same thing with this. Say we have to surrender to attachment of we looking for romance and all that, and that's going to be the icing on the cake. But some of us that she's saying that may not to be the end result of you all having that romance things, or they might not start off that way. Union might start off with you being just besties. So just be open and go with the flow. I know that even with my own situation, I've just learned how to just kind of go with the flow. We communicate, we talk with, and like I say, we do more now with the karmic in the situation that we had never done before as far as communicating. I could pick up the phone right now, say X, Y, and Z. Okay, I got you. And vice versa, with that. And it's not anything, we understand the boundaries and not set there forth. And right now, you could say, okay, yeah, we at the friend unconditional showing back and forth. I'm giving him my boundaries. No, we ain't going to do this. X, Y, and Z. This is what I said I'm willing to do. Okay, I understand that, respect that. Before then, it used to be, let me just push the envelope a little bit. No, your no don't mean no. Nah, he knows my no means no, and that's it, and we're not going to carry on with that. So, like I say, it's different. Union, coming together, relating, having intimacy might look very different, and we've got to be open to that. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, aha moments that come through to guide you. And when I read this, what I pick up is that, sometimes we get those moments and then we second guess, or we get to talking to other people and then they get us off track of what's really truly. This divine twin soul journey is purely guided as a roadmap or a GPS system that is pretty much guided and directed by the heart. If you try to do everything by your mind, body, it will mess you up and get you off task of your journey to your destination, which is union. You have to truly check into your heart. You can't listen to other people. Some people will tell, probably since she's mom, girl, you was a fool. That ain't no union. He off doing what he doing, and you off with the daggone soulmate. That's called cheating or whatever it is, because you talking to your divine every day and all that stuff, and your soul may be insecure about that, and yada yada yada. Okay, but for in her heart, we have to respect that. That's what her heart says. This is union. I don't need anybody to find and tell me it's something different. Got it. Okay. So those are the things that we have to work on as far as surrendering. I'm going to pull the divine feminine cards as far as what is in relation to her divine masculine. Seeing that, what is she seeing right now? What is in relation in her mind space as far as her divine masculine? And what is in the heart space of the divine feminine as far as her divine masculine. Okay, meat and potatoes. So right now we have the goddess of nurturing. So this is what's in her. I say we got Kuan Yin. This is as far as in her mind space for him. And if I flipped it, that's what we're going to do it, because now Spirit has directed me differently. So this is 10. Kuan Yin. Hello, my dear one. I have some words for you about the nurturing power of the feminine. My daughters upon the earth are judged in many ways for being too much of something or not enough of it. For being a stay-at-home mother, for being a working mother or not being a mother at all. For being too frigid or perhaps too promiscuous, for wearing too much makeup or not taking enough pride in her appearance. Most of these items that are up for discussion are things on a spectrum of energy that differ from person to person, regardless of what is redeemed right or wrong in your society. This is how I see it. When women are being judged in regardless to the energy that is close to my heart and that which I am closely associated with nurturing, as with the other topics mentioned, is meant to be on a fluctuating spectrum from woman to woman and internally for each individual woman, depending on how she is experiencing her unique existence within each moment. This is an area in particular where women pit themselves against one another in civil war. In reality, rejecting the other is rejecting oneself, because each of us have the potential within us to exhibit each in a polarity, good or bad, love or fear, extremely nurturing or mildly so. Each unique expression of divinity, each person is intended to be just that, a free individual expression. So the way you want to express your divine twin soul journey is up to you. Going back to ascending Simone, going back to this other reader I've talked about, Elizabeth Lunn, going back to how you see the world, how you are attracted, how you want to engage with your twin, how you want to do that. Do not worry about how outside people judge your relationship. Again, like I told you, that's in your heart. Your heart is your GPS to tell you how you want to go about the destination to your own twin flame union. That is your end destination that you want. Your destination all along is your union. But your ending place, you want to be in physical union in the 3D. And all along, you choose the route. You choose the path. You choose the transportation. You choose the mobility of how you want to get there as a woman. Nurture your own self. If today you feel like I don't want to be dealing with any or looking at anything that has to do with divine twin soul, that's your thing. You're nurturing yourself to make sure that you are doing what is needed for you. So if you feel at the moment, like you say, I don't want to deal with that, I want to deal with soulmate, that is fine. That's how you nurture yourself. And that's how you're seeing with divine twin soul right now. Some of you all say, I got to do what I feel, what is good for me right now in regards to this divine masculine. That's what I'm thinking. I'm nurturing myself. As far as in your heart space right now, you got codependency. Okay? You want to... And I'm going to say, since you say in your card space, some of you all have got to work on the dependency issues that you have that's in your heart space with your divine masculine. Some of you all, like say with myself, I see a ball and chain, like you chained to the idea. Like I said, don't get to the point that you're letting this divine twin soul journey get the best of you, that it just feels like it's a burden to be in it. That's why I'm thinking this is what this is in your heart. You're like, but I got to, because I got to do it for the union. And that's why I say go back to your mind right here, which is what you think it is. And I got to nurture myself. I got to do what I think which is best for me at this point. Just like I said about in the other video about my closet falling, and I just had a moment where I just cried. My mom came and asked, what's wrong with you? And I was like, this is a collapse of everything in my life. It don't just symbolize my closet falling. And she's like, okay, well, she's like, I'm gonna work with you, I'm help you out, hug me and, talk me through it and say, come on, I'm gonna help you get your closet back together and things of that nature. So that represents, in some ways, if I look at symbolism, is like just the mother, the divine, the feminine spirit, just saying it's time for me to kind of just mother you. Think about your divine self and splitting yourself and say, okay, sometimes we need to just mother ourselves back to health. So this is what it's saying about that. Let's not look at we're at the point in our heart space, some of us feel like it's a burden, like I'm chained to this idea, this commitment, and this us coming into physical union. Again, like I said, surrender to how you think it's going to happen. We got God of love and God of vulnerability. Okay. This one, I know this card off my hand because I know this. This is how love. These not the typical way in which you would think love, the God of love would look. And that's the same thing. We keep on picking the divine feminines. We have got to get to the point. The overall thing is we got to have an open mind as to how this thing is going. We got to go with the flow, divine feminines, as far as how this journey is going to actually come to its destination. And so with this card, it says, he comes to you saying that love comes in different forms. It might not come the way in which you think it will, but this is still love all in all. God of vulnerability. We've got to come to the point that we got to be vulnerable. Like I said in my last one with the fireside chat, that I had to come to the point that I was just very vulnerable about that. I told mom that everybody's pretty much leaning on me, depending on me to do things, and it becomes quite much. Me being the Aries, we can really give a real stone cold looking like I got this, I'm doing classy, I'm slayish, I'm out here just slaying things, just making and out here just doing it in a way that's just Daniel Boone say classy, and just doing it with finesse, and at the same time, you would like say, I want to put my sword down because I'm tired of fighting and putting out these fires all the time. And in your heart space, so you saying, I'm at the point I'm just tired of just keep on just fighting for this thing. It look like I'm the only one. I'm playing two roles, the feminine and the divine masculine. He ain't pulling his weight, and I just really at the point feel like I just want to put the sword down and just really become vulnerable. You see him, he got his armor down here at the he's taking the helmet off, he's putting the sword down. Look like he's almost at the point they say I'm almost at the point that I'm gonna just take my shoes off and just become very just comfortable with where I am. And that's the same thing we have to do, divine feelings. We got to become comfortable where we are. Okay, those are the surrender. Let's look at some issues that we have in as far as in the 3D that we've got to work with that's acting as blocks. Let's look at some challenges and blocks. What are they? Okay, what is some of the challenges and blocks we have right here is the consuming family, pressures of peers, immortal. We're finding out that, we are human. We are not like vampires, we live forever, or the divine. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this is what some of us are really truly finding out now. Is my thing on? Is it off? Because I like my notifications. Nope, it's down, it's silent. I should have known that. So we're finding this out. Let me get some clarifiers to see why we're not at this point that we're seeing consuming family. Some of us having issues with family. Families are putting the crunch of the things on us as well. Let me look. I haven't looked at the numerology cards in a while. Clear. What are the immortal issues that the divine feminine is having? Okay, we got here in reverse, health. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm put it as emphasis, and this is what I'm picking up. We got spiritual completion, and one is your intuitive and your awareness. Some of us has been neglecting taking care of our health. We're not doing as much as we should as far as immortal, so we got to start kind of making sure that we take a time out, rest when we're stressful, doing things to relax us, relaxing bath, massages, things that help us in the physical to deal with the everyday stresses that is going on, especially with this being the Cancerian times, with a lot of emotions. And so we got to kind of learn how to deal with that, our emotional body, the health of that as well, that too. Okay, what else? Or it could also, with this being moisture, it could be also, I'm picking up maybe the health of family members too, could also play a part. If it's not you, since it came in reverse, you're thinking about also family. This could also play a part. Okay, let's look at other things. What other things play a part is being immortal. Your intuition, how you see yourselves, how you fit in the world. This is what I'm picking up, 22, which is unity and unity. How you are becoming one with others as well, one with your divine counterpart, your family, and also your friends as well. That's emphasized with that. 22 is 4, so you got to be grounded in that. You got to have your identity, because sometimes in this twin phase, a lot of people got their own little spins, and they telling you your things that they want to have on there, and you're like, that's not the direction I want to go, you know. So that's something that, and nature. So go again back to this, who you are naturally. We got the number 7, again, spiritual completion again. They go to the 7s again. And a 4, which is groundedness. We talked about that early. 7 and 4 together makes 11. And nature. So your true nature of being the divine twin soul is what you got to think of. How you reach that is through your third eye. Again, that intuition. Again, getting that set forth. And then through your heart, which we've seen that was very prevalent when I say about your heart. Let your heart be your GPS as well. Some things, let's see. Right now, I'm not seeing this right now in the divine feminine. There is no issue. I'm not seeing anything karmically being picked up. Let me look at this one. Let's see. Clear. What are there any other issues that she has to deal with? Let's see. What are the energies that she's in? What is it? Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So you got to deal with, again, your intimacy, which is how you deal with it, because root chakra is number 1, and intimacy. Okay, how you deal with others. I was about to pull from somebody else. Let me see. This will help us out. Clear. How can she work with the second chakra, was her intimacy. This 3 and 6, which is Trinity coming in alignment, and 6 is love. Together is 9, the end of the cycle. So you got to deal with that intimacy, how you deal with others. How can she go about doing that? What are some of the issues with that she's got to deal with? Explain to me, what is it that she's having with this second chakra as an issue? Some of you all are at an impasse. You're not going beyond that. Being intimacy, you seeing the really the divine masculine just standing there, ain't making no forward move, and he ain't going forward, he ain't going backwards. You might see some movements when the new moon, the next moon cycle, whatever is going on, is going to occur. I thought that was the 17th or the 27th, the 13th or 27th, around in there. Look for some happening with that, whatever the next moon cycle. He's open, but in some ways I'm reading into this like, yeah, you open to the possibilities of us doing something, but you ain't making no movement. You just, it's just like it's just right there. He just stands still. He's at a stalemate. Okay. And then also what's causing the intimacy is your abundance. You're worrying about things. You're worrying about how this abundance, how the things are going to come into fruition as far as with this divine twin soul journey. Also, your intimacy is how you really, I want to say, I don't know if that's a saying, that really your abundance or your wealth is in your connections with people. And so you're worrying about that. It look like to me it's almost like, you know how your money go down the sewer thing when you walk over those little grates in the street, and it kind of like your abundance is under. You feel like it's not really attainable. To be in what you could get in touch with your abundance is that you got to go through your subconscious, really dig deep to get down to the source of wealth, of things of your abundance. That's what I'm picking up. I told you all before, and I'm going to say this again, be an advocate. Go on YouTube, listen to some subliminal messages, get down to that subconscious so you can break that up, so you can be able to actually receive your good, because some of that is buried low, way beneath the low, down the surface of your subconscious, which is locking things up for that. Let's see, anything, that's what's going on with that. I'm not really picking up anything karmically. I can ask the karmic cards. Let me see if there's anything karmically that you have to deal with. Karmic does person, place, a thing. So if there is anything, let's see. Some cards popped up. Let's see if we see anything that's got to deal with her in it. No. That's not really your issue right now, excuse me, a divine feminine, about this karma. Right now, we're just looking at as far as the situations. Like I said, it could be person, place, a thing, the wheel, things coming around. You're just waiting for your time for when you'll come back up to the top again, and you'll rule right now. So we're just waiting for things to change, just like they say, spin that wheel, like Wheel of Fortune. And so what goes up must go down, and vice versa. That is really what space you're in. You got some slaying some dragons, I'm seeing here along the way as you're waiting. You got issues with the home life. This little creature here is everything. So I'm seeing wings. So you got to deal with your divinity. You got to look like the fool here, which means you're starting off with, sometimes you don't know where you're going. You got new beginnings. You got the Sphinx. That means to me, looking at your past, looking at how your past plays a part as to your now. And like I said, it's just a spinning wheel. That look like that might be a cup. I can't, not too sure. You got a lot of tools here to represent to me royalty, which means your divinity, who you are. And I see muscles here, a lot of fists there too. So you got to put some work in it. You got a lot of people watching you to see, which way your life is going to go. And that goes back to your family and peers that was there earlier, that's really saying, okay, what's she gonna do now? So that for some of you all, that's putting a lot of pressure. And then you got the Two of Wands here, and so we have you making music, you're trying to just really, you got the yin and the yang, you're trying to find a balance within yourself. Some of you all might find yourself kind of strumming along, singing a new tune. I don't know why I pick up Lauren Hill. Strumming my pain with his fingers. Roberta Flack. Singing his life with his words. Killing me softly with his words. Killing me softly with his words. Telling my own life with his words. Killing me softly with his song. So some of you all, what he's doing, the divine masculine, is really kind of killing you softly. You looking like a kind of like a clown, don't know what he doing, but he's strumming a tune and look like you trying to kind of go along with him, saying, you know, you back there in that back there in that past, then I'm trying to fast forward you, bring you up into the new. You know, you got to kind of get with it. You back there in them old times, and you kind of looking like a fool as you doing it. And you see, I'm up at it now. I'm playing instruments that, you know, and I want to kind of bring you over this side so we can bring this balance. So that's what we got, the Two of Wands, is just really trying to put the work in and create new music. Now, we can come from two worlds, play the old to the new, and do a remix. Just like I said, Roberta Flack, and then you had Lauren Hill did her version of Clean Softly, and we try to mesh both of them together. Both of them are good pieces, but you know, we just got to find to be able to play the same tune. So I'm really not feeling right now karmically divine feminines. If you have any kind of karmic issues, that's not the issue right now that you had there. I'm feeling, or it could go two ways. I'm picking this up too, that it could be that right now, you know, if you do have a karmic masculine still in the situation, you two are trying to find different ways of how to, you know, he's in the past. This karmic masculine is in the past. I'm sorry, he playing a whole different tune, and you trying to bring it up to date. And that, to me, if you all are still in a relationship, is causing a clash at this moment. You all are not on the same page. You ain't even playing the same tune. And so right now, like I said, with everything that you got on your plate, you got to figure out something new to be played. Okay, let's ask the oracle. What does the universe want to say to you, divine feminine? What does the universe want to say to you? Put you over here. Clear. What does the too many? What does the universe want to say to the divine feminine? Baggage be gone. Number 17. Intuitiveness, awareness, and spiritual completion. There go that number 7 again. Ain't that funny? Now hold on a second. That came out health. 17. 1 and 7, 7 and 1. Okay. All right. Let's see what this means. Baggage be gone. Come on now. Aren't you tired of being stooped over from all that emotional baggage? The thing is, it all happened yesterday. This is now, and with one flick of your powerful, energetic finger, you can send that old has-been baggage overboard into the drink. It is high time to fly free. Let it go, my friend. So, baggage be gone. So, bag lady, you have missed your birth. Hanging on a mask like a tag. There no one ever told you what you want to go through. It's you, it's you, you. One day on the man. Say one day on the man. Up your space. Say one day. All the man, pack like, ooh, girl, I know sometimes it's hard and you can't let go. All right, so pack light. So we gotta kind of let that go. Okay, baggage be gone. Trying that funny. See something that, but anyway. Okay, so now that is it. Let me see what the divine feminine self wants to say to her, and that's it. Ooh, we are an hour. Clear. That's because I'm combining really two readings in one. The divine feminine and the karmic situation. But like I said, if you do have one, he's on a whole different thing. He ain't even playing the same. Matter of fact, you got the little thing there blocking him. Say, I don't even want to hear what the heck you playing. If he is in the picture, but he should not be. He a fool, and that ain't even working right there. So right now you really trying to make some other beautiful music up to date. He back in the past, and that's what I'm thinking that he is. He's in the past. If it is a karmic situation, okay. But both the cards didn't play that. Right now you on your own. All right. So what does your higher self want to say to you, divine feminine? Ooh, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times, all places. I am my own. Thekla? Look at that. She's pretty. Look at that guy. And you got that lioness. That means you got to get courage in what's going on. I know what it is, Do I have a book for this? I think I do. Yeah, no. Yes, I do. I thought I didn't. Okay, let me see. I can find her really. Is this in alphabetical order? Let's pray it is. Because this one went a little longer than what I wanted, but that's all right. Go to the front. Okay, you like, would you come on? I know it. I ain't found this child. I know she here. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. Don't you ever leave her. Okay, number 44. Ain't that interesting? That's Angel. Hold on. Hey, okay, here we go. Thekla, I don't know. The prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. Who she is. Thekla represents the ability to call back all of our power. The Acts of Paul and Thekla dates back to the 2nd century, though some scholars believe in its Greek composition could be from a early as 70 CE. It relates a young woman's call to a life of teaching and healing in the Christ movement in Asia Minor, current day Turkey. Thekla, the daughter of Theoclia, excuse me, I'm saying wrong, at age 17, overhears Paul teaching about Christ. She stays rooted in place at her window for 3 days so she won't miss a word. Her mother had arranged for her to be married, so when Thekla feels called to begin her own ministry, she is sentenced to burn for refusing to be a bride. Just as the flames are surrounding her, though she makes the sign of the cross and a huge storm puts the fire out. She finds Paul, cuts her hair short, and tells him, only give me the seal of Christ and no trial will touch me. He suggests that She isn't ready for baptism yet. Shortly after, a president of the Council of Syria tries to take Thecla in the streets to be his bride. She tears off his cloak and takes the crown from his head and publicly shames him for trying to take her without consent. She is then sentenced to death by wild beasts. In the arena, all the women protest judgment of Thecla, proclaiming her innocence. A huge lioness enters the arena, approaches Thecla, and then licks her feet and bows before her. Thecla enters the pool in the arena that is filled with wild sea lions. The woman fears she will be killed, but she declares, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I baptize myself." Suddenly she is shielded and protected by a great ring of fire, and a glowing white robe suddenly appears on her body. Paul tells her, "Go and teach the word of God." It is recorded in the Act of Paul and Thecla that she lived until 90 and enlightened many. Her ministry proves the existence of female authority in the early Christian church. When your soul selects her card, Thecla's story echoes from the ancient world to the modern world. Your life is up to you. Yes, there is the power of prayer, of faith, of asking for all possible spiritual support. But there's also divine will within each of us. It's will that aligns with the soul's purpose. We remember what true power is when we divest all outside authority of the power we have been given them. Power is calling back all the control we give to others to dictate. We talked about that earlier about peers and family members dictate our lives, our potential life partners, our family members, our culture, even our ego's idea of who we should be. Thecla reminds us that we do not need permission to be who we are. We can cut our hair short and baptize ourselves. We are not bound by anything except the dictates of our own soul. Here, mudra is one of awe and wonder. We have all the power right now within us to take our life into our own hands. That's the source of fire itself, the divine will to call back our spiritual authority and claim this life as our soul's own. Soul's voice meditation. Where have I given my power away? I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. And that's what it says earlier. Go with the flow, the blood angel, and also we're transforming. Doesn't matter how you think, nurture yourself. It's the way you believe that your life is going to, as far as the twin flame journey, is going to be. Surrender to the results. Surrender to the success of it. Do not worry about what outside people think about it. Like I said, in this wheel thing, you got people, I picked that up strongly. People are looking to you to see how you're going to go about it. Pick your own GPS path, which way you're going to take which route. Because just like on GPS, they'll put on there, you take a route 1, or route 1 is the fastest, the fastest, or route 2 is the heaviest, or the slowest. You choose which route you want to take on your twin flame journey. And with that, I'll say that's the end of our reading for the Divine Feminine. Please take a note of going to, if you would like a reading with me, go to my website, which is divinetwinsoul11.com. Go on my services page, click on that, and then you will be able to get a reading with me book on there. Remember, for the month of July, I am doing specials, $11 for 30 minutes, and for an hour, it'll be $22. So take advantage of that reading. If you want me to go back to the old-fashioned way for you about the karmics, for those readings, I will use that way of going into depth about that. where I say, well, he's thinking what you thinking for that. But for right now, for the collective, I'm doing it all over what we need to work on as divine feminines. And so with that imparting, I say, divine feminines, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay elevated. Namaste, namago.